Hi there, it's Laura Wilson. Welcome to the second video in the video series, The Right Diet for You, exploring what the best, most optimum diet that you can follow is. We're going to explore today the top 10 most popular diets in the world. We're going to review them and we're going to look at exactly why you need to eat more alkaline foods. So we're going to look at the top 10 most popular diets and give a rundown of their good points and bad points. So in the last video, we saw that serious preventable lifestyle-based diseases are killing people more than ever before. We can see that all around us in society. Cancer, diabetes, heart disease, obesity affect the vast majority of the Western population. We discovered that meat and dairy are prime causes of cancer and other serious disease. So if you haven't yet watched the first video, please go back and watch it either before you watch this one or afterwards, and you will find out exactly why meat and dairy are the prime causes of cancer. People are cottoning on to this, so if you don't know these things already, go and look at the evidence behind it. So this video, we're going to review the top 10, the world's most popular diets that lots of people follow. So we're going to kind of debunk and demystify, and cut through the confusion and the noise as to all these different diets to look at what's good, what's bad, what to keep, what to throw out. And could any of these be the right diet for you? So let's kick off with number one, the Dukan diet, a French diet. You can lose and by the way, I'm going to go through this quickly, so you might want to just take notes, go back through it afterwards, because I'm going to be running through this because we haven't got much time and I don't want to make this a really, really long video. So it's going to be bullet pointed, goods and bads. We're going through it quickly. Dukan diet, you can lose weight very quickly. It has 4 complicated phases to the diet: attack, cruise, consolidation, and stabilization. There's lots of animal protein, meat, poultry, eggs, and dairy. That's bad news. Some days there's only protein, no fruits or veg allowed. This is ludicrous. You're allowed 1 piece of fruit per day in one of the stages. So literally that's like 70 to 100 calories of fruit, of live, enzyme-rich, vitamin-rich fruit per day, 70 to 100 calories, and the rest of the time you're eating meat, dairy, and heart attack, obesity, diabetes-inducing foods, animal protein. You're allowed celebration meals where you can eat what you want, aka a junk food fest. Any diet that says you can have these cheat days where you can eat what you want is a recipe for disaster, because most people, when they're on a restrictive diet, when they're given a day off, will go mad with eating whatever they want: McDonald's, processed meats, fast foods, meat, dairy, sugar, all the rest of it. The Dukan diet promotes sugar-free sweeteners such as aspartame. Very bad news. Aspartame is linked with cancer. It gives neurological disorders. Bad news. Any diet that promotes this is a complete no-no. You want to, don't pay any attention to this diet, please. You're allowed 2 glasses of wine per day in 2 of the phases. So this diet isn't good. Number 2, the new Atkins diet. We had the old Atkins diet. We've now got the new Atkins diet. What's changed? Not that much. Okay, so the Atkins diet is an extremely low-carb diet. You cut carbs and you cut life. Our brains, our bodies run on glucose, which is carbohydrates. Many people I see day to day in the gym on a high protein diet, and they're tired, they're cranky, they've got no energy, they're addicted to coffee because they need some kind of energy boost, so they turn to caffeine. Cut carbs, cut life. The new Atkins diet promotes eating bacon, mayonnaise and butter, big promoters of cancer, heart disease. High animal protein, high fat, low fiber, a heart attack in the making. Low nutrient, no whole grains, and no fruit and no veg, or very, very little. So it's a low nutrient diet. It's energy depleting, it's craving inducing, and it will give you constipation. You lose weight, you can lose weight on it, which is the whole selling point of this. You lose weight by going into ketosis. This is totally unsustainable. It's not good news. Bad for your body. Yeah, it can cause dizziness, definitely bad breath. You will have really bad breath. It's like you will have insomnia from lack of carbs and fiber. Atkins himself died of heart problems. Okay, number 3, the paleo diet. The paleo diet has been very popular in the last few years. It's the eat like a caveman diet, which is very meat heavy. Now, this lacks any true scientific evidence. Yes, it's got a big marketing campaign behind it, and it's got this pseudo evidence behind it, not real evidence. The paleo people would say we've been eating like cavemen for millions of years. Backed up by what? What says that we've been around for millions of years? Now, okay, I'm not going to go into a whole religious, scientific or whatever evolution debate, but I'm Christian. The Bible doesn't suggest that we've been around for millions of years. Scientists are now saying that, yeah, humans have not been around for millions and millions and millions of years. And this big leap that we do in evolution from apes to humans, that's a massive assumption there. So, yeah, the whole concept of eat like a caveman is a little bit erroneous, if not a lot erroneous. High animal protein, high fibre. So there's good points about this diet. High fibre. It's basically Atkins with veg, oils and limited fruits. So another good thing about it is no processed foods, no sugar or refined sugar, no dairy. Good point. No potatoes. Potatoes are a fantastic form of carbohydrate. High fibre, low fat, energy giving, will fill you up. You can lose weight eating a ton of potatoes. I often will eat 750 grams to a kilogram of cooked potatoes in one sitting and feel totally satisfied, totally full, and lose weight eating a load of potatoes. They're cheap, nutritious. You don't want to get rid of potatoes. You can have open meals, so a bit like the Dukan diet, where you can have cheat days and celebration days. Same thing. Eat what you want, aka a junk food fest. The vast majority of people cannot be trusted to have open meals where they eat what they want. And I don't mean to sound condescending there, but the reality is that most people are eating the wrong way. They're not eating correctly. So what's the point in following a healthy diet for a few days of the week and then going wild on eating all sorts of rubbish the rest of the time? It makes no sense. Why not just have a healthy diet that stops cravings, that is healthy, is nutritious, it's satisfying, it's sustainable every day of the week? A lifestyle rather than a diet. The paleo diet is expensive. It's not really a family diet. They promote eating lots of grass-fed organic red meat, beef, chicken as well. And this gets very expensive very quickly when you've got a family to feed. It's heavily marketed. They've got a great marketing campaign behind them, hence its popularity. It's basically the current trendy diet. I see so many guys in my gym who are like, yeah, eat like a caveman. I'm on the paleo diet. It's faddy. They don't really know what they're doing. It lacks any true, real scientific evidence. Number 4 is the zone diet. This has been around for quite a while, made popular by people like Jennifer Aniston. You can lose weight. It's low carb, high protein again, so it induces ketosis. Low calorie, 1,200 calories a day. That's pretty much starvation mode, so definitely not sustainable. The ratio of nutrients, macronutrients, is 40-30-30. 40% carbs, 30% protein, 30% fat. Too high in protein and fat, and too low in carbs. It wants you, this is bizarre, it wants you to think of pasta, grains and starches as condiments. I don't know about you, but pasta is not a condiment that I kind of just sprinkle on top of my main meal as like a dressing or something to enhance the flavour. A condiment is like a little bit of ketchup or mustard. It's not a teaspoonful of rice. So this is just bizarre. You know, our staples are the majority of our plate should be filled with high fibre plant-based foods. They should not be considered condiments. So this is just a strange concept. The zone diet says that most fruits and vegetables are unfavourable. Okay, that's just weird. The 5th diet is the fast diet, otherwise known as the 5-2 diet, and this is where you cut your calories to around 500 calories per day for 2 days per week. You eat normally for 5 days a week, aka anything goes. Again, you know, so what's the point in eating just very, very restrictively for 2 days of the week? You're going to have not much energy to do anything on 500 calories a day. And the rest of the time you can eat what you want. It's very yo-yoing. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. So you're basically going into starvation mode for 2 days. It claims to reduce the risk of heart disease, stroke and cancer. But again, it's non-sustainable. If you do this for a few weeks, maybe, you know, in those period where you're fasting, naturally your body's going to have time to just kind of, it's not overloaded, so your blood pressure will come down. I've done fasting. I've done all sorts of fasts in my time, from, you know, a 1-day fast to a 7-day only water fast, no food for 7 days. And my blood pressure went through the floor, basically. I had lowish blood pressure anyway. So it will reduce blood pressure and also risk of heart disease as a result of that. But it's just not sustainable. I don't know anyone who's done the 5-2 diet for a period of years and not fallen off the wagon, not been eating a lot of meat and dairy on those other days. It's too ambiguous since there are 5 anything go days. Number 6 is the raw food diet. So this, as the name suggests, is no cooked food, mainly raw fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds, and some whole grains that are uncooked. Typically no animal products, so it's vegan. The trouble with this is, the good points is that it's plant-based. You know, a vegan diet is going to be better. Anything that's got rid of the dairy, the meat, the hormones that's involved with that, the genetically modified foods that animals are fed, the saturated animal fats is a good thing. So you want to get rid of that. That's good. Vegan is good. But the trouble is with the raw food diet, when you don't cook things, so you're not allowed rice, cooked potatoes, quinoa, anything like that, you know, starchy, high fiber foods. What are you going to eat instead? Gourmet raw, so very high fat nut butters and tahinis and cashew nut desserts and things. So it's high fat. This is going to cause problems. This high fat combined with carbohydrate is a recipe for pre-diabetes basically, and diabetes. Not good news. When I was on a raw food diet eating high fat, I ran into some serious health issues. My energy was really low. I gained weight. I lost my fitness, and my blood, actually, I had a blood analysis. My blood was starting to gloop together. Not good news. You often need expensive things like dehydrators, blenders, food processors, and there's a lot of faff and faddiness involved with this. It can often be quite expensive and inconvenient as well. Weight Watchers. We all know someone who's been on Weight Watchers for years, which kind of says something in itself, really, I think. It's based on a point system, so you eat what you want as long as you stay within your points. So the good thing is empty calorie foods have higher points, so it helps you to make wiser nutritional choices. However, all foods are allowed, so meat and dairy is allowed as long as you stay within your points. So it's not nutritionally or optimum, basically. Psychologically and sociologically, there are downsides to this. Since there are group meetups, it can be a very social event, going to Weight Watchers meetings, but many people stay in meetings for years and they enjoy that. So as soon as you lose weight, you've lost your peer group, basically. You're out of going to the meetings. So what you find as a result is people stay in these meetings for years. How much progress are they actually making? Stop going, you lose your social group. Okay, number 8 is Slimming World. This encourages a lower fat way of eating, which is good. You can eat lots of free foods, which again is good. They class free foods as fruit, vegetables, pasta and rice. So carbohydrate, plant-based foods, great. You can eat as much of that as you want. Fantastic. But you can also eat lots of lean meats, fish, eggs and bacon. Since when has bacon been a lean meat? It hasn't been. It's, you know, that's rubbish. You're allowed sins, what they call sins, S-Y-N-S, which are naughty foods such as alcohol, chocolate and ice cream, and you're allowed these in, you know, relatively small proportions. But I would say, why not just eat really lovely, delicious, healthy foods all the time rather than having dairy ice cream with all sorts of pus and hormones in and fat? So yeah, this diet would say you can eat anything in moderation. Yeah, okay. Still high on animal fat and protein though. Okay, number 9 is the Mediterranean diet. And this is better. This is better, I've got to say. Out of all these 10, this is one of the best ones because it's a way of eating, it's a lifestyle rather than a diet. It's not the type of thing you do for a few months and then come off. Oh, I've lost weight. Right, I'll go back to eating normally. This is a really good lifestyle. There's an emphasis on fish, not so good, but healthy oils, can be a bit fatty, but lots of salads, fruits and veg. Meat and cheese are limited. Good news. It's typically, though, downside, a fairly high-fat diet. You know, Mediterranean diet, oily fish, lots of olive oil, bread with olive oil. So we want to be cutting the fat down, really, to prevent pre-diabetes, to prevent weight gain. We want to be on a low-fat, higher carbohydrate diet, ideally. In the high-fat aspect of it, it can be similar to a raw food diet. And number 10 is home-cooked healthy diet. So this is, you know, what your wife or your girlfriend or your mum or your husband cooks for you. Someone who is really invested in cooking foods at home from scratch, healthy meals, which are not packaged. The trouble with this is it can be easily disguised as kind of being healthy, but is actually very unhealthy. And I'll show you why. So it's non-packaged foods, which are good because you're not getting all the preservatives and chemicals and things and colorings, and hopefully, if you're buying the right foods. It's things like examples: home-cooked lasagna and veg, curry with lean chicken and rice, casseroles, salads with cold meats and cheese, sandwiches, apple crumble and custard for afters, or trifle and cream or ice cream. The trouble is, it's typically high fat and it's high in animal protein. If you're buying your food, your ingredients, from regular supermarkets and you're just going through the aisles buying what everyone else buys, the typical offerings of a supermarket, you're going to be buying animal-based, higher fat foods. Animal foods, as well as things like lots of hormones and casein in dairy, which our bodies find very hard to break down, as well as the saturated fat. There's also a lot of nasties involved in the meat and dairy industry in the production of those foods, so it's not as clean as you might think. So it's still a diet full of unnatural, nasty chemicals. Let's briefly look at some other diets. So we've been through the main 10. There's a whole host of other diets we could have looked at. The Beck Diet Solution, Body for Life, Eat Clean Diet, the GI Diet, the slightly better Glycemic Index Diet, Master Cleanse, very popular, Scarsdale Diet, the Military Diet has been gaining popularity, Slim Fast, so where you eat, have shakes all day long and then have one main meal, a lot of bulking agents and fillers and sweeteners and things. Yeah, I know lots of people who've had bad health repercussions from going on a kind of shake diet. Blood type diet, so you've got a different blood type to me, therefore we should be eating different foods. You know, again, all of these are faddy. In the animal kingdom, even with mammals, do you see one animal eating something different because they've got different blood types, or do you see a species-specific diet? So dogs have a specific diet, elephants have a specific diet, monkeys have a specific diet. Could us humans have a specific diet for our species? Have a think about that. South Beach diet. Or what about the alkaline diet? Could that be our species-specific diet? Could this be the diet for human beings? Well, I would say yes. After 15 years of research, many experiments on myself, as in, you know, trying lots of different diets and refining and seeing what's best as an athlete. I've run around about 15 marathons, about 30 half marathons and triathlons and races, and one ultra marathon. So I'm an very active person. So I've worked out what works for reversal of disease, for weight loss, for leanness, for energy, for staying off pharmaceutical drugs, and I'm going to share that with you. And I've had testimonials from hundreds and hundreds of people in the last 10 years, website subscribers who've mailed me to say this diet works. So we're going to be looking at the alkaline diet in detail. Thanks for watching this video. In the next video, we're also going to be looking at how to turn off your fat genes, how to have sustainable long-term weight loss, and 2 little known diabetes facts as well. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Let me know what diets haven't worked for you in the past, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.